We are back. Weekly Wisdom episode 6.
MJ,
Yes?
how was the wedding day?
The wedding was amazing. I feel like someone was sitting in my chair while I was away.
Oh, Keri LaGrand is here. And I know that you really wanted to also interview her. But we did interview her, and I can't wait for you to watch it too. It'll be fun. You'll enjoy it.
Great.
Yeah. So Keri, we wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
And on our video, one of our episodes, we made a distinction between confidence and arrogance. And we wanted to ask you, being that you are a director on a national convention, Shemaine, how does that look in a room when you're teaching at a convention?
Wow. The first thing that comes to mind is more about how it looks on stage.
Oh, okay.
From a judge's perspective.
The dance, I think that would be very informative for the dancers.
Okay, great.
Yeah, great.
So I think it's very clear when someone is being confident versus someone who is trying to act confident for the judges or for the audience.
Oh, that's good.
One looks more natural and it looks more like they're sharing what they're doing with us. One looks like they are trying really hard to be really good, and it almost looks a little bit desperate. So it's not quite as fun to watch. Or I find that when someone is trying to act confident, and it's not coming from an authentic place of where they're just sharing their gift or their training or their talents, when they're acting like they hope we see them as good, it looks almost a little desperate. And then I find that I start to break down their dancing differently than I do when I'm just being entertained by them. And then what I start to do is, because I'm not engaged in my heart or in my soul, I go into my mind, so then I start breaking down their dancing differently. I start looking at different parts of their technique, and I'm always judging that, but then I find I'm not caught up in what they're doing because they're not including me in it. They're just trying so hard to prove how good they are.
Yeah.
And that doesn't read the same as someone who is going up there and sharing themselves with us.
So would you say that if a dancer's being really in their head about something, it clicks you into your head?
Absolutely.
And if they're being in their heart and expressing from their heart, then that drops you into your heart.
Mhm.
That's cool to know.
Keri, that was awesome. Thank you so much for keeping my seat warm while I was away.
Yeah. In addition, I asked Keri if a dancer here at the studio wanted to become a professional dancer. I asked her a question about that. Okay, Keri, so how about 2 personal questions to you about being a professional dancer?
Okay.
One is, with all the people that you've worked with, who were you the most starstruck by?
Whoa, wow. Madonna.
Madonna.
Yeah, and she was the most intimidating.
She was.
Yes, she was absolutely the most intimidating, and I was the most starstruck by her.
Do you have any wisdom for the dancers who are contemplating or considering going into like a nugget of wisdom that where they might want to become a professional dancer?
Wow. So many things, but I'll pick one.
Okay.
Today, communication is vital for their career, because when you get an agent, you have to communicate with them. You have to constantly call them. You have to ask them how, is my look okay? Do I need new headshots? What auditions are out there? Why didn't I get this audition? You have to get feedback. You have to keep an open line of communication. I was not very good at that when I first started, and I could see where if I were better, my career might have been a little different. I mean, it is what it is, and I am where I am. But I think I was not very good at it. I was very afraid to bother my agent. And that, I don't think, is the best way to go about really promoting yourself and pushing your career forward. Learning communication skills, being able to communicate with people who you are intimidated by or who you are nervous to talk to, directors, choreographers, agents. That's such an important skill, because they can't read your mind, and it helps them to remember who you are when you're communicating with them, and they give a little bit of your personality, and they learn that you're interested in your career and in what they're doing. That just can only help you more in furthering your career as far as a business. And I think it's easy for dancers to forget, and Joe Tremaine always says this, it's show business. it's a performance art, but it's also your career is your business, and you have to know how to handle that.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
I think that's really, really important.
Well, I did that in our interview with Leeper.
You did, and you didn't even know that I asked Keri
I
that.
know. Let's get to our interview with Mr. Leeper.
Okay, let's do it.
We are here with Mr. Leeper.
Hi guys.
So what are you most attracted to when you're working with dancers?
I'm gonna
About
first,
them.
yeah, I'm gonna first of all say that the dancer doesn't necessarily have to be the most talented dancer,
Oh,
but they have
that's
to be hardworking, present in the room, willing to try anything, also willing to give anything up. And if I give them material and I say I don't like the material, not to get too attached to it, and
Oh, that's great.
not to
So
get
they
too
can
attached to
jump
it.
from one place to another with you.
Absolutely,
Oh,
and just
wow. That's
honestly to
great.
be up for anything.
Okay.
And
Yep.
I like when, say if I'm in the process and I'm thinking about choreography, that they're still working as I'm working, and being
Oh, that's
working with them. No attitude.
Yes.
No attitude, no matter where you are in the room or placed in a piece, no attitude.
All right, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. That's excellent.
What was your first dance job?
The first thing that came to mind was when I first moved to New York. It was actually the very first show I auditioned for, and it was for Radio City Music Hall. And so that was the Christmas show. They used to do two of these shows with the Rockettes. So Christmas show and the Easter show, they were seasonal shows, and I did it for 2 years.
That's awesome.
And then I decided I wanted to choreograph after that.
Yeah.
So that was a very short career at Radio City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who have you been the most starstruck by that you've worked with?
Okay. For me, Cher, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Working with Cher I was starstruck by that. For the girls, I'll say Channing Tatum was quite the. You're welcome. I don't know. I don't get too starstruck because most of the time when you're working with someone, working with a celebrity, it's just about work.
Okay.
So they're usually pretty down to earth and pretty humble, and I appreciate that. Oh, I like humbleness in dancers too.
Oh,
There you go.
that's good.
Do you have any tips or words of wisdom for anyone that wants to audition to go into the industry?
Yeah, I think it's really important when you start auditioning, and this is for myself as a choreographer too, I still stand to this day, is that you should audition for everything. Audition for everything. Even if you don't think you're gonna love the job or you're not interested in the job, it's important to put yourself out there. You're so weird. Getting yourself in front of choreographers and directors who might hire you in the future, even though they might not want you for a particular job. So even myself, I'll take jobs as a choreographer just to have the opportunity to work with a certain director or producer. So you have to continually put yourself out there. That's the most
That's great.
important
That's awesome.
because practice makes perfect.
That's good. Okay, everybody. Mrs. Bartosh, can you take us out?
You guys, I miss you so much. So glad to be back. And remember, do what you love what you do.